Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, and we're going to dive in to some Starfield revelations. They've just dropped a bunch of new information for us. We're talking character building and what we should expect. We're talking how we can build outposts, what that's going to look like, ships, and we're going to get some actual game footage. So I'm super excited for all this to happen. So without any further ado, let's crash that intro. All right, let's dive in first with some of the live action footage we get of what the game is actually going to be when we drop in. So I'm guessing this is some of their beta stuff. I would hope it'd be alpha by now, but hey, this is the moon Crete. And here's our ship flying in. Bethesda has always done a great job with their art, and there's nothing you can say about that. It's going to be a gorgeous looking game, even though sometimes the faces will be a little wonky, but that's cool. So we're inside of our ship and we're about to leave. Looks like we have our robotic companion. I really feel like I just want to stretch him out and give him a head, but he'll be doing the heavy lifting. It's almost like the Fallout style where we have our guns down at the bottom. And this is something crazy cool. It's telling us when we do our surveys what we're looking for and the different pieces we get to look at while we're looking for it. So I'm very excited about that piece right there. Like, I can't express that the little details like that. Like if we're walking up and we're looking at the rocks and we need to core mining and stuff, and we're going to be doing that, it's going to look fantastic and it's going to be good because you're going to be scanning it. It's almost like we're using the action points when you're in Fallout 4. And if you haven't played Fallout 4 or Fallout 3 or any of the Fallout games, jump over there and have a look at it. Start playing them. We got some time. At least 6 months away, I would say, from game drop. Even interacting with some of the animals, like we could have shot at it, but we didn't. And I'm glad we didn't because there were so many behind it. So that's kind of cool. And it looks like we're going to be able to be doing some mining for materials, which is pretty straightforward. Now, the research lab looks pretty cool. It kind of looks like what we're looking at when we look at one of the buildings from like an apocalyptic thing. It just looks out there. The color scheme for this moon is right on par. We scanned the ship and it can tell us what, I think scanning and understanding what we're going in against, it's going to be where it's at. Now, Deacon through this building, we're coming up to sneak on these guys. I do like the looks of the handling of the guns in this. He drops to one knee, spins around, throwing grenades. I think like they've really taken that to almost like Division or our friends that play COD. A lot of that kind of style. Quick switch from game or from gun to gun. Now this is something different. It's like lock picking. They call it dig pick. Now, look at the way like you have to line the two up, and there will be 3 or 4 depending on what you can do. I like that a lot better. Something different, something new to the franchise than what they have with the Elder Scrolls, with the lock picking, trying to wedge the locks, or with the code breaking with the Fallout franchise. So I do like that. And I think that's something that's going to be unique for this. I just want to take a second. Do you see what's going on up there in that photo? It's like an experimental thing, and it's showing how different chemicals are going to be needed, and we're going to find compounds, and that's how the creatures on this are. That's pretty cool. All right, let's keep it rolling. So we're going to be, obviously there'll be a lot of combat. The accuracy and the guns seem better. Looks like we'll be able to take more coverage and use it. I hope it is like a Call of Duty or a Division 2 for being able to slide up beside it. You know, it looks good. Oh, you get a little bit of jetpack, a little bit. Okay, all right. I see what they're doing. It's looking pretty sharp. I don't mind the combat. It looks good. Fallout 4 was great combat, so if we're going to go with that, it shouldn't be too bad. Now, it looks like we're going to fly into New Atlantis, and that's where one of these Constellation headquarters is going to be. And I believe that's going to be like one of the factions that we get to be a part of. From what I'm picking up and understanding, there's 3 factions. Constellation, it's going to be like your Enterprise explorer, out checking out the universe, seeing all the different planets, setting up and doing quests along those lines. The other group, I think, is going to be like your military / peacekeeping core group that aligns with almost like the Brotherhood from Fallout 4, kind of like that. And I believe they're called the Rock, from what I understand. And that looks like I don't want them to be able to pick all 3. You know what I'm saying? Like these factions that they did, like in other, you can be part of all of them. I'm part of all the guilds, all the groups, like the worlds and stuff we're a part of. It's going to be pretty intense. There's another group called the Crimson Pirates, and I almost think like they're like your raiders and whatnot. I want to be a part of that. Like if I want to go that way, I want to be able to, like, that's what we do the whole time. Like we can go exploring, but we're doing it for the Crimson Brotherhood or the Crimson Pirates. So the game footage that they've released, it looks amazing. It looks great. I'm super excited. And I just can't wait till they start to leak out more and more information over the next few months and see how many more factions they can bring towards us. Like, I get it, the whole concept of just the game running, but we're not just going to do a linear storyline. We're going to be going through more than that. So let's see what we can find out more about, and let's dive into what we really want to see, the character development. Now, this character development, it looks going to, like we're going to have a bunch of different traits like normal. So let's just pause it, and we're going to take our time and really dive into each part. Well, the background is where it's at, because this is like Cyber Runner. Now you're going to get pistol damage increase. You're going to have the attempt to be able to hack better locks with 2 auto attempts. Like, this is what we're talking about. These are the type of things. This is your background. So it looks like we're going to have a bunch of different ones. And that looks pretty cool. Like, we're going to have Beast Hunter. We're going to have Bouncer, Bounty Hunter, a Chef, Combat Medic, Cyber Runner, Diplomat, Explorer, Gangster, Homesteader. The list goes on. And that's what we can just see from the images we have from the game. This is going to give us so much to build on, because it's going to give us like the starting traits. Now, when the game comes out and we're able to sit down and actually dive into something, it's going to affect how you play out the game, just like in any other game like this. The perks that you're going to have will help you in quests If you're a homesteader, will you get different different buildings, different building equipment? You know, do you build faster? Are you able to get more resources? It even has Ronin on there. So what does that even say? Like, if that's one of your backstories, that's insane. And now there's like also traits. Now, if you pick these different traits to go for you, and apparently it looks like you can pick 3. There's like alien DNA, introvert, extrovert, kid stuff, neon, street, rat, spacer, which spacer, your body becomes adequate or acclimatized to space. Health and endurance are increased when in space, but decreased when on the surface. This is what I'm talking about. If you're going to build, and we are able to be part of a faction and go all pirate and do something like that. If I'm going to be an explorer, I'm going to pick the things that are going to help me for exploring. You're really going to have the chance to build somebody like you, whatever your feel and how you want to play, you're going to be able to do this. And I'm guessing probably multiple playthroughs if you choose to, because there's so many different ways just to get yourself started to get going. Now, if you pick introvert, you can't pick extrovert, which makes sense. So I'm guessing that there will be checks and balances. Like, you can't just make a super character. This is not 1999, and you can't just have a maxed out character on everything. I'm just the best at everything. No. This is absolutely fantastic. Be able to like break down things further. If you pick spacer, you can't put it with terra firma, which I'm guessing is there's a trait three down. So you can't be an extrovert and an invert at the same time, if you understand what I mean. So that means there are other ones are going to balance out. I'm guessing street kid and kid stuff. Like, one's like you live on the street, and the other one is you have a great family life. So you get one or the other, which is that makes more sense in the long run, right? Your character will get to reflect who you are and how you want to play. And this right here is some of the best RPG building to really suck you in and feel like you're a part of this. You're definitely going to have the character you want, however you want them to look, and however you want their backstory and traits to be before we get going. Now, they also have this other ticket style thing where you can level up and bring up the ranks. But what they just didn't want to say anything about is that there's different rankings. There's a physical, a social, combat, science, and tech that are all going to have these different things. And as you can see, demolitions kills 125 enemies in an explosion. That's very, very specific. And as you unlock, it does 30% more damage and has 30% larger radius. And that's just one of the multiple different ones you can unlock through here. So really fine-tuning the kind of character you want to have is going to be fun. It almost gives me that feel like when we're playing Cyberpunk 2077. There's like 150 different pieces you can pick from, but you can only pick, say, 80, because that's the max amount of points you can actually get in the game. So you can't max it out. So you get to theory craft and how you want to build your character a little bit more. I also think it's like Elder Scrolls and their runes. They have the sky, and then you have to pay out for the sky points. So I think there's a lot of good things we can take from this. And I'm very, very excited to just see how much we actually get to play in theory with this. Because if it is half as good as it's looking right now without a bunch of crashes and having problems, a lot of people could be spending the first 6 hours just building a character. You know? But don't worry. We'll be there together. Now, we're going to be doing some crafting, which is going to be tedious for some, exciting for others. What they're showing is that we're going to be able to do a bunch of different things to craft. Looks like medicine, food, our housing gear, our ship gear, and weapons, which is fine. Just as one pistol has like 2 different barrel mods, 3 different grips, 3 different optic sights mods, and then 2 different muzzles. Okay. Awesome. How are we going to get the maps to unlock to be able to create them? How hard is stuff going to be to harvest or farm, I guess, the material we need? Because it's like, oh, we need 20 iron, 20 nickel. Like, we're going to have to store some stuff up, and the better stuff you want, the better stuff you're going to need. Now, the gun itself looks pretty spacey, but also like any science fiction movie. But look at the extension clip on that. You could use that as a club as well. Like, sometimes modding and crafting can be awesome. And when it comes to doing our housing and our ships, that's when it'll get exciting. And if you guys didn't like settlement building in Fallout 4, you guys are going to absolutely hate this. But if you guys enjoyed it, you're going to enjoy this. We are going to build different outposts on all these planets. Most likely, if there is 100 universes or galaxies, and there's 1,000 plus different worlds to be seeding on, this is going to be absolutely crazy. Sometimes you're just going to have to go with like just a small outpost, but you can see what you're going to be collecting. Like, you're going to need the materials for it. I wonder if we're going to be able to have mods like we do in the Fallout 4, where we have like unlimited resources so that we can just go and build and have fun. I think, you know, the modders out for the games for Bethesda are some of the best in the industry. And I salute you guys every day. Thank you very much for the Fallout, Skyrim, all of them. But we are looking at a heavy duty lift of stuff we can build, from just the way the building is itself to functionality, power, resources, defense. It looks like we're going to be able to do a lot. And the best part is we're going to have quote unquote settlers living and working in the settlements we build and the outposts. Call them settlements. I'm so used to it. It's just the way it is. That could be interesting. And from what I'm seeing, it looks like we're going to have a lot of people on these. Now, they're allowing us to build our own ships. That right there is absolutely mind-blowing. We're talking, we could build ships whatever we need. Are we going to have cargo ships styles that we need? Fighter ships, because there is going to be flight with and space battles. Like, we're going to be able to design so much of our own stuff to really make it feel like it's our own, that we may not ever play the actual story. Maybe that's what they're counting on. I don't know. You guys let me know down in the comments. But are you this excited about being able to build your own ship to the specs and styles that you like? And I understand that there are different mega corporations that you can buy gear and stuff from. So I'm wondering, can those pieces be interchanged? Or if you have one that's like all Nova, does that help out better? Are the different ones going to have better engines, which they probably will? There's going to be ones that have better shields, ones that have better firing power for weapons. Yeah, I'm super excited seeing like if we need like to have 2 or 3 ships, like if I'm doing a cargo run style. It's there's the possibilities are endless to be able to create and build your own ships, like even the cockpit, different engine pieces, like you can shift it around. Like just going through all of this is absolutely fantastic. And even changing the color scheme too. Like you can really, really make it your own. We're going to have some pretty cool ships. Speaking of ships, we're going to be able to fly them. I only have 3 issues with this. I don't want no sky or no sky for old men or whatever type of game. Is it going to be a big part when we're flying around and attacking? How easy is the flying going to be? Because some games they can nail it and some games they don't. So I'm concerned about that. From what I'm seeing here in their footage, it looks clean, looks good. Another thing, can we scrap all the pieces after we blow up ships? Do we get to pick up any of the metals so we can harvest them? I'd be interested in that. Can we stun the ships just to shut it down? As you can see, there's different space stations and whatnot. Are we able to dock onto other ships and do like a pirate raiding party? Because that makes me more and more excited for raiding and being a pirate. So, you guys let me know, what are your special favorite flying games and which ones have let you down in the past? Now, they're telling us that we're going to have 100 different galaxies, 1,000 planets that we can go and explore. And this is just a look at one of it. We're going to get like the type of planet, the Goldilocks planet, different types of moons. That's no moon. That's a base. Like, we're going to be able to break down and find out which ones we like. It's mind-boggling. I just hope that they don't mess it up like some games have when they try to go crazy big like this, which I have no problem with. It's awesome. That's fine. But don't mess it up. Mass Effects Andromeda did this, where we got to go to a bunch of different planets and we were able to play and interact with each one, which is cool. No Man's Sky seems to have some issues. So I know they fixed and toned it up, but this looks like it's going to be absolutely crazy. I'm excited to see, because each planet should have its own unique set of creatures, things we can resource, which would be kind of cool if you were setting up on different planets. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think it's too ambitious for that many planets? Would you have rather just been happy with 100 planets and maybe like 3 or 4 different galaxies? Let me know down in the comments. Are you excited? Do you think they're going to hit this target goal, or is it going to be lackluster? You know, how in depth are these planets going to be? This is what I want to know. So, yeah. so like, are we gonna have like water planets? Like, I'm really, really excited. I know that they're gonna have a couple that are gonna be perfect for seeding humans. Do we have to wear helmets and air masks every time we go out there? Who knows? I don't. But we're gonna find out, won't we? All right, everybody. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much. I'm absolutely thrilled and excited for this game to drop. I can't wait for us to get more information, more hype drive, and see if they start breaking down each individual part before the game actually launches. Because if they do, it just gives us more info. Like, is this going to be the game of the year? That's to be seen. So until next time, keep on gaming and bring the rage.